Hello random people on the internet, my name is Banana, and there has been a Slayer update leaked that is guaranteed going to come out in the month of February, and it seems like it is going to be one of the biggest updates in Skyblock's history when it comes to endgame stuff, because it looks like these things are going to fuck you up. These bosses seem like they are going to be crazy, and you're going to need to prepare very hard to do every single one of these, and I'm going to tell you how to prepare for all of these bosses in this video. So, the first thing that you want to do is you're going to actually want to get your Slayers up. Your Slayer skills are definitely something that you are going to need to level up, because right now the rewards are capped out at 7 pretty much. There's nothing past 7 except like this one perk and just a little bit of health. So you can assume if they're adding new Slayer bosses, they're going to add new ways to get Slayer XP, and if they're adding more XP, they need to add more rewards. So I assume that we could even get up to Slayer 10 in rewards, just because of how much XP the new bosses will probably be giving. You can see that I am Revenant 8 and I am Tarantula and Sven 6. I recommend you don't do what I'm doing, but I honestly might recommend that you full send on one of the Slayers. I don't think at this point it matters which Slayer you do, because hopefully every single item that will come out in the update is going to be good, but hopefully each of them has their own little niche, and just go with whatever one you feel like, or just go for all of them, like 777, and then grind whichever one you want to when the new update comes out. I personally am going for Revenant. I think they'll make Revenant good. I know Revenant's terrible, but I mean, I'm already so far in, I can't quit now. So that's my first tip. Get your Slayers up. My next tip is obviously to get your skills up. These bosses have a lot of health. The leaked ones that Minikloon has shown have 7.2 million health and 4.2 million health, with 4,000 DPS on one of them, and we don't know how much DPS is on the other one, but it is going to have this thing where it spawns diamond blocks and it will slow you down and you have to go kill them. So these bosses have a lot of damage, a lot of health, so you are going to want your skills to be as high as possible, because as you can see, combat gives flat damage, foraging gives strength. You know, you need all of these up just for the bonus stuff. The health from farming and fishing is crazy towards the end of it. Like, you just keep going up. 4 health per, you're getting 4 health per this as well. That is an insane amount of health that you can get just by leveling up your skills. And leveling skills, honestly, isn't that bad. I definitely think that every player should already be grinding skills, but with bosses that are this powerful coming out, grinding skills is more important than ever. Lastly, I want to talk about some builds that you can get in the game. There are a lot of builds that you can use for doing Slayers, but some of them will be deemed obsolete probably due to the massive amount of health that are on tier 6 bosses. The tier 6 bosses are supposedly only for end game players to solo, and you're probably going to need a team if you are not over here with every single item in the game and an overflux orb on top of that, you know? So I have a couple builds that I'm going to recommend to you. A lot of these items aren't mine. Don't judge me for having a lot of these. The Midas, the Reaper Scythe, the tier 12 Perfect. Thanks Trinity Tesla for giving me that just to show in this video. But there are a lot of builds that I think will be really good, and let's just look at them right now. So for the first build, I recommend either, like, the tier 12 Perfect set is going to be cool. It is going to probably be really good. You can see how much defense is on here. There's 348 on this right now. I recommend that you make it wise, because I actually recommend you use it with the Reaper Scythe, and I think that you put this Reaper Mask on here, and this makes for one crazy tanky build. This build has the double healing from Reaper Mask, the double zombies from Reaper Mask. You're getting so much intelligence, like 165, 100, 100, 100. So you're getting 465 intelligence boosted from just your stuff. And then you have your Reaper Scythe, which you use to spawn in desecrated zombies. And those desecrated zombies are going to heal you for insane amounts. You get so much heals when you are using the Reaper Scythe, and only more when you're using Reaper Mask, because you get double healing and double zombies from Scythe. So the chances of you dying while you're using this sort of build is way less. And if you aren't a huge fan of getting perfect armor and you want to go for something a little bit cheaper, Revenant armor is definitely something that you could go for. This is my Revenant armor. It's at 200,000 kills and it gets 310 bonus defense on it. So I'm getting 930 defense just from these 3 pieces, along with a Reaper mask, which you are going to want to run if you're running any of these kind of builds, just for the double healing that you get, because the tankiness on these sort of builds, especially against Revenant, will be insane, with things like the Reaper Falchion giving you 10 hearts per hit and getting 20% less damage from zombies. And if you have the Survivor Cube and the Healing Ring, which will also just give you more healing, like 10% more on the Healing Ring and 5% more on the Survivor Cube, Overflux Orb will also push you 5% more healing. You're ending up just healing so much that the boss is going to have trouble killing you. Even if you will have a tiny bit of trouble killing the boss, as long as you have the aggro and you have friends, then you will for sure be able to kill the boss. So my most recommended build is a combination of the Reaper mask and either Revenant armor or perfect armor, just because, I mean, it's really good. But this is probably the most expensive build in the game that you could go for right now. Also, for spiders, I recommend the Tarantula armor still. I recommend you get a lot of kills on it. You're going to need a lot of kills if you're going to want to tank it. And I don't have a Scorpion foil, but I mean, Midas is really good still. And Scorpion foil would probably be a little bit better. Hopefully they buff Scorpion foil a little bit. I think it's bugged where it doesn't do the damage that it should, but Scorpion foil would be a great idea. And then you have wolves. Now, Mastiff armor is really good, obviously, but the thing that I am confused about is wolves are pretty tough right now. Wolves can kill you if you get surrounded by their pups and if you're not on full god potions. But like, the new boss, if it does way more damage, I don't know how you're going to be able to kill the wolf, especially since apparently it can't be done in water. Apparently it has a very, very fast move speed even in water. So Mastiff armor is obviously going to be the play for wolves, but I don't know if it's going to be like really possible to solo this boss just because of how tough wolves already are with their true damage, because more true damage is just not going to be fun for anyone using wolves. And obviously if you're doing wolves, use Pooch Sword, because 20% less damage from wolves and 150 strength is just insane. And I mean, you need it for the +1 damage per 50 max hearts. So I think that's all for recommending armor and stuff. Yeah. One last thing that I really didn't mention is God Pots. You're going to need a guild who do God Splashes all the time, just because you're going to need to like do your maximum damage to these bosses. If you are not on God Potions, if you are not just absolutely destroying, then I don't see a way that you can just destroy these bosses, just beat them, because they will just take you down. They will rip you down, because I mean 4,000 damage per second, that's 4 times as much as the current Revenant. And I mean, that doesn't do much damage right now, the current Revenant, but anything past that and you could end up dying if you're just soloing, and I don't think you want to die. So I recommend finding a guild with God Pots. I know it's tough if you do own a guild or you have a guild that splashes a lot and you are recruiting. I would appreciate if you leave your guild in the comments below and people could look in there to see, hey, can I join this guild? Something like that. I know that there are a bunch of guilds that do splash, but the majority of them are pretty tight-knit groups that aren't recruiting that much. But I'm sure you guys can find a guild that will splash you. And overall, that's just going to be it for my recommendations on how to prepare for this Slayer update. It's coming out in the month of February. It's confirmed by Minikloon, so I would get going on getting your loot and stuff, because you are going to need it, and you're going to need it fast, just so you can get all the new Tier 6 drops and stuff from the bosses. You need all the new weapons, armor that are probably going to come out. New talismans are probably going to come out with Slayer, because Slayer just gives a lot of loot, and you're going to need to get that first, or you're going to be a broke boy and you're going to be sad that you haven't gotten those amazing drops. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, or if it helped you out at all, I would appreciate a subscription or a like. They're both great to me. The support that you guys have been giving me recently is awesome. We're almost at 5,500 subscribers. I can't fathom it, but, you know, we just accept that. We just take those. So yeah, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.